Okay, good morning, everybody. What I'm going to be doing today is showing you a few odds and ends that we need to fix up on your capstone graduation project templates. I'm going to use Mr. Boutros as an example today. His is about electric cars not being all that they're cracked up to be, essentially. So we're going to take that and fill in a few other things that we've neglected to fill in so far, just to kind of get our project that much closer to completion. So let's start here. Obviously, capstone graduation project needs to be replaced. So let's just make something up like electric cars. And now when you title a paper, it can be titled using like a colon or a semicolon. It can be a little bit more creative than just what you've done in the past too. So electric cars, like let's do R is green as we think they are. Okay, something like that would work fine. There's not really a specific pattern to this one, like there is for other papers. So, for the running head is a little bit trickier because, well, for one, it has to stay in all caps, just like that. You do not erase running head. That stays there on the first page. I know this is going to be super weird to some of you, but then on the second page, where my mouse is, and beyond, you do not put running head. It's only on the first page, and it just stays there. So you would exchange out capstone, though, for electric cars. A shortened version of this works, too. Are they green? And then you would want to move this page number back up here. So you might need to, yep, there we go. That looks perfect. Electric cars, are they green? Good. Then you would do the exact, I'm actually just going to copy and paste what I did up here. Command C, and we'll replace capstone down here. Okay, same thing happened here. Then the good news is you only have to do this once for this part, and then you're done. So move that back up here. Now, it should be set to go for here. You do have to do it on page 1 and page 2. Okay, and then page 2 is synced to the rest of the other pages, so it should appear just fine after that. Then you want to take this other title that we came up with, and you want to copy and paste that where it says your full title of your paper, excuse me. Okay? Electric cars, are they as green as we think they're? No changes to that. You don't need to bold it or do anything like that. Just leave it just like that. Okay? So now that's all done. The other thing you should do is you either need to type out your abstract or you need to I would say you can erase it really if you want to. I know I had kind of hinted that I wanted you to do it and was thinking about making it required. You don't need to do an abstract if you really don't want to. I think it makes the paper more full and more like a college type paper, but it's not required. And I'll give a couple examples in class of what abstracts look like. I'll share my abstract with you that I wrote for my grad school paper just to see kind of what it entails. So we're going to scroll down here. Formatting, rest of this part looks very, very good. But the other thing that we need to add, as we learned yesterday, is you need to add in your counter arguments section. And so when you do that, when you add in your counter arguments section, what you need to do is add it in either at the end of your literature review or at the very, very end of your application section. You could really do it one way or the other. I would maybe recommend the literature review, and that's what I'm going to do just for the sake of this paper, because if it fits in more like a counter argument that you found from your application section, then that makes way more sense to put it in the application section, obviously. But if not, you should put it at the end of the literature review. So this you can do on both the Word app version or Word 365. It's going to look a little bit different on either or. Actually, what I'm going to do is we're going to save this. And then we're going to go to the web app version. So So we'll exit out of here. That's my other, and then we're going to do continue here. And load Mr. Boutros is on Office 365. Okay. Good to see that it's synced. Wait a second here for it to load. So this should look relatively similar between the iPad version of Office 365 on the browser and on what I'm doing on my MacBook. On the app, it is a little bit different to find it, but I think the symbol is exactly the same. I was able to find it looking at Rodolfo's yesterday, so you should be able to find it as well. Okay, this looks like it's mostly loaded now, so let's scroll down. And let's go to right before his application section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, put my cursor right here at the end of cars, and do a new line. What you need to do immediately after that, don't touch anything else, go up to styles. It should be this little A with like a paintbrush attached to it. I think it should be that on the iPad version too. You click that and you click heading 2. And then you would just type counter, oops, don't make it all caps though. That's a leftover from the other thing we're doing. Counter argument. Yep. Then you'd hit enter again. Oh, that didn't happen how I wanted. Let's try that one more time. Okay, there we go. Then, just to make sure it's the correct style, good, it changed back to normal. Normal is what you type the text part in any paper. So we hit enter, and then your counter argument goes here, blah, blah, blah. So just a brief explanation of like styles. They're basically different ways of making a heading. And it actually does, if you were to make like an outline using Word or like throw this on Google Docs and load up the outline tab up, it would automatically make it for you because you'd used headings. So if you look here, this application one, what style is this? It's heading 1. Like those main centered headings are heading 1 and it formats it that way automatically. That's why we're using this template. Then the subheadings like problem and solution and like survey and interview, for example, those are all heading 2. If you wanted to do another subheading, like under counter argument, like 2 different types of counter argument, you could do like heading 3. Oops, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. You could do heading 3. Like let me show you here. So if I wanted to like do heading 2, oh, there it goes. It looks exactly the same as counter argument, but we don't want it that way. So if you accidentally run into formatting issues, there's a pretty good chance that you accidentally messed up the style somehow, or something like that. So just make sure you don't get too play around with that too much. Okay. And then the last thing, I referenced this a lot yesterday, and I know I didn't actually show it to you. This is the appendix where you can put your figures and data and put figure captions for each one. Or like I said, you can put it in the paper itself too. Okay. Hopefully that clears up the rest of the things we need to do just to get this like paper titled and ready to go. Again, what I would do with the abstract if you're not going to do it is delete both it and the page break. Otherwise, there's just gonna be a blank page there for no reason. That's what page break means. It means it starts a new page automatically. It's a formatting technique that I do. I don't know why this is so like this, but it didn't look like that on the app version, so I'm just gonna leave it for now. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Feel free to ask me any questions about that. And oh my goodness, Ryan, you have so many sources. Good job. This is an excellent source sheet references page right here. This is about how many you should have. And guess what? These were all formatted automatically because they use Zotero. Extremely easy for the most part. Right? Okay, good. Glad that was all cataloged well. Let me know if you have any questions. And I know it doesn't, the header doesn't appear on here. That's why, I guess you can, if you're on the app, you can click header and change it, but it looks kind of strange. I would not bother with that. Make sure you do it on the app version or the browser. Okay, buy for real now. Not browser, I meant app or desktop computer.